Hi students, today I am going to discuss about the methods of purifications of the organic compounds. See, here we can purify with the help of the crystallization, sublimation process, then differential extraction process, then the chromatographic technique. We can use the method, we can purify the organic compound. Now we will see the organic purification method one by one. See, this is the methods of purification of the organic compound. Here we can use the purification of the organic compound with the help of this, the sublimation process, distillation process, crystallization process, differential extraction and the chromatographic technique. Now we will see the one by one method. The first, the sublimation process. The sublimation process means what? You have earlier you learned about the heating process, the thermal process. Some solid substances changes from solid to vapor state without passing through liquid state. So the purification technique is based on the principles is called sublimation, that is the separate the sublimate compound from the non-sublimate impurities. Okay, that is the solid converts to gas mean the sublimation process. Then the distillation process. The distillation having the fractional distillations are there, the simple distillations are there, that we'll see. Then the crystallization process. Before that we will see the crystallization process. The crystallization process, usually the organic samples, the purification of the solid organic compound, the impure compound is dissolved in a solvent which is sparingly soluble at room temperature but appreciably soluble at high temperature. So the solution is concentrated to get nearly the saturated solution. You know that the saturated solution, that on the saturated solution on cooling, the solution is pure compound crystallized out the removed by the filtration. See that mother liquid, filter the mother liquid is called that again you have to the recrystallization is formed. This process is called crystallization process. Now the distillation, we will see the distillation techniques. The distillation process, there are three to four types. First one is the simple distillation, then second is the fractional distillation, third is the steam distillation and the distillation under reduced pressure. So this we can use the distillation process. First here the important method used to separate the volatile liquid from the non-volatile impurities and the liquids having a sufficient difference in their boiling points. Liquids having a different boiling point vaporize at room temperature, the vapors are cooled and the liquids formed are collected separately. For example, the chloroform having the boiling point is 334 Kelvin and the boiling point having the aniline boiling point having the 457 Kelvin. They are easily separated by the technique of the distillation process. You can see the diagram, that is the simple distillation method. The vapors of the substance formed are condensed and the liquid is collected in the conical flask. See the liquid mixture is taken in a round bottom flask or also called RB flask. Here and heated very carefully. On boiling, the vapors of lower boiling components are formed first. The vapors are condensed by using the condenser and the liquid is collected in a receiver. So the vapors of a higher boiling component form later and the liquid can be collected separately. So this is called simple distillation process. The next is the fractional distillation process. You can see that diagram, the fractional distillation. Here the vapors of lower boiling fraction reach the top of the column first, followed by the vapors of the higher boiling fraction. That means if the difference in the boiling points of two liquids is not much, simple distillation cannot be used to separate them. So the vapors of such liquids are formed within the same temperature range and are condensed simultaneously. So the technique of fractional distillation is used in such a cases. In this technique, the vapors of a liquid mixtures are passed through the fractionating column before the condensation. So the fractionating columns is fitted over the mouth of the RB flask, that is called a round bottom flask. You can see the diagram. Here the vapors of the liquid with a higher boiling point condense before the vapors of the liquid with the lower boiling point. The vapors rising up the fractionating column become richer in more volatile component. By the time of the vapors reach the top of the fractionating column, these are rich in the more volatile component. The fractionating columns are available in the various size and designs that you can see the simple packed column, bubble plate column, that is the different types of the fractionating column. The fractionating columns are provided many surfaces for heat exchange between the ascending vapors and the descending condensed liquid. So some of the condensing liquid in the fractionating column obtain heat from the ascending vapors and the re-vaporizers. So the vapors thus become richer in the low boiling component. The vapors of low boiling component ascend to the top of the column. And on reaching the top, the vapors become pure in low boiling component and pass through the condenser, and the pure liquid is collected in a receiver. So after the series of successive distillation, the remaining liquid in the distillation flask get enriched in the high boiling component. So each successive condensation and vaporization unit in the fractionating column is called theoretical plate. They are commonly called as column with hundreds of plates are available. See, the next is the distillation under reduced pressure, that we will see. Here the distillation under reduced pressure, here liquid boils at room temperature, the temperature below its vapor pressure by reducing the pressure. You can see the diagram. This method is used to purify liquids having very high boiling point and those which decompose are below their boiling point. Such liquids are made to boil at a temperature lower than their normal boiling point by reducing the pressure on their surface. So a liquid boils at a temperature at which its vapor pressure is equal to the external pressure. The pressure is reduced with the help of the water pump or in the vacuum pump. You can see that diagram. That glycerol can be separated from spent lye in soap industry by using this technique. Now next we will see the steam distillation. Here the steam distillation, the technique that steam volatile component volatilizes, the vapors condense in the condenser and the liquid collects in the conical flask. You can see the diagram. This technique is used applied to separate the substance which are steam volatile and are immiscible with the water. In steam distillation, steam from a steam generator is passed through a heated flask containing the liquid to be distilled. The mixture of steam and the volatile organic compound is condensed and collected. The compound is later separated from water using the separating funnel in steam distillation. The liquid boils when some of vapor pressure due to the organic compound liquid that will be P1 and due to the water P2 becomes equal to the atmospheric pressure P. So P total is equal to what? P1 plus P2. Here the P1 is the lower than the P, the organic liquid vaporized at the lower temperature, then it's the boiling point. So if one of the substance in the mixer is water and the other a water insoluble substance, then the mixer will boil close to but below 373 Kelvin. A mixture of water and the substances obtained which can be separated by using the separating funnel. The aniline is separated by this technique from aniline and the water mixture. You can see the diagram, you can clearly understand. The next is differential extraction process. When an organic compound is present in an aqueous medium, it is separated by shaking with an organic solvent in which the more soluble than in water. So, the organic solvent and aqueous solution should be immiscible with each other so that they form two distinct layers which can be separated by separating funnel. So, using the separating funnel, the organic solvent is later removed by distillation or by evaporation to get back the compound. The differential extraction is carried out the separatory funnel, that is separating funnel. You can see that funnel in the diagram. Here, that organic compound is less soluble in organic solvent. A very large quantity of the solvent would be required to extract even a very small quantity of the compound. The technique is continuous extraction is employed in such cases. So, in this technique, same solvent is repeatedly used for the extraction of the compound. So, you can see that before extraction, the two different organic compound liquids are there, blue and yellow in color. Then the aqueous layer, after extraction, the aqueous layer, you can see that organic compound in solvent layer, then the aqueous layer. The first one, the solvent layer, the bottom one is the organic compound in aqueous layer. The after extraction, you are having like that, organic compound in solvent layer is topper one, the bottom one is aqueous layer. See, the next is the chromatographic technique. This chromatographic technique mainly the separating mixer of their component. Usually, so many chromatographic techniques are there. Here, the purification technique, usually we are using the adsorption chromatographic, then the column chromatography, thin layer chromatography, which is called TLC, then partition chromatography. We will discuss one by one. What is that adsorption chromatography, what is that column chromatography, TLC, and the partition chromatography. Okay. Now, we will see first the adsorption chromatography. The adsorption chromatography is based on the fact that different compounds are adsorbed on an adsorbent to the different degrees. So, commonly used adsorbents are silica gel and alumina. When a mobile phase is allowed to move over a stationary phase, the components of mixer move varying distance over the stationary phase. So, here mainly used the column chromatography and the thin layer chromatography. Already we seen that the column chromatography, you can see that diagram. A column of a chromatography involves separation of a mixer over a column of adsorbent, that is called a stationary phase, packed in a glass tube. So, the column is fitted with a stopcock at the lower end. Then you can see that diagram. The mixer is adsorbed on the adsorbent, is placed on the top of the adsorbent column packed in the glass tube. An appropriate element which is liquid or a mixture of liquid is allowed to flow down the column slowly depending upon the degree to which the compounds are adsorbed. Complete separation takes place. The most readily adsorbed substances are retained near the top and other come down the various distance in the column. So, you can see that diagram, the different types of column chromatography, different stage of the separations of the components of a mixer. The blue in solvent, the blue in color is solvent, and mixture of compound, that is A, B, C, like this different type, R, X, Y, Z, whatever it is. Then the yellow in color, the adsorbent stationary phase, then glass wool is there. So, slowly separating like that, you can see that diagram. Then the thin layer chromatography. The thin layer chromatography TLC is another type of the adsorption chromatography, which involves the separation of substance of a mixer over a thin layer of an adsorbent coated on a glass plate. You can see the diagram. A thin layer about 0.2 mm thickness. This is an adsorbent. You can use it silica gel or in the alumina. Is spread over the glass plate of a suitable size. The plate is known as called thin layer chromatography plate or the chromato plate. The solution of a mixer to be separated is applied a small spot about 2 cm above one end of the TLC plate. The glass plate is then placed on the closed jar containing eluent. So this eluent rise up the plate. You can see the diagram, the two different that is thin layer chromatography, chromata being developed. Then next is a developed chromatogram. You can see that. Here the components of the mixer move up along with the eluent the different distance depending on their degrees of adsorption, and separation takes place. The relative adsorption of each component of the mixer is expressed in terms of the retardation factor. They are also called RF value. The RF is equal to distance moved by the substance from baseline divided by the distance moved by the solvent from the baseline. So this is the formula. This formula you have to use, that the spots of colored compounds are visible on thin layer chromatography plate due to their original color. The spots of colorless compound which are invisible to eye but fluorescence is UV light can be detected by putting the plate under the UV light. See, another reduction technique is place the plate in the covered jar containing a few crystals of iodine. The spots of compound which absorb iodine will show up the brown spots. So sometimes an appropriate reagent may also be sprayed on the plate. For example, the amino acids may be detected by spraying the plate with the ninhydrin solution. You can see that diagram also. Okay. Now the next is a partition chromatography. Here the partition chromatography is based on continuous differential partitioning of components of a mixer between the stationary and the mobile phases. The paper chromatography is a type of the partition chromatography. In a paper chromatography technique, special quality paper used, that is called chromatography paper is used, or which is called Wattman filter paper. You have to use a strip of chromatography paper spotted at the base with the solution of mixer is suspended in a suitable solvent or a mixture of solvent. This experiment you are going to do in class 12. This is a practical experiment also. The paper chromatography, the name of the experiment. Here the solvent acts as a mobile phase. The solvent rises up the paper by capillary action and flows over the spot. The paper selectively retains different components according to their different partition in the two phases. You can see the diagram, the paper chromatography. The paper strip is developed is known as the chromatogram. The spot of these separated colored compounds are visible at different heights from the position of the initial spot on the chromatogram. The spots of the separated colorless compound may be observed either under UV light or by using use of an appropriate spray reagent discussed under thin layer the chromatography. See, this is the paper chromatography, chromatography paper in the two different shapes. You can see that the baseline, the first one baseline, then the chromatography paper, jar, spot and the solvent. Then the next one is the chromatography papers, jar, spot and baseline, solvent. The different you can see that. Hello students, today we were seeing the different purification methods that is in the organic compounds. The sublimation process we were discussed. Then the distillation process, the different distillation process also we were seen in this video. Then the crystallization process. After that, the differential extraction method. Then finally, we were seeing the chromatographic technique. There is also different chromatographic techniques also we were seen in this video. Thank you.